Whether we ask for it or not, the external conflict seems to be really taking center stage once again. Every so often, every other year, it seems to be some kind of external conflict. At times, we see these in the master manipulator, the mainstream media. So at times it feels like we don't have choice but trauma bonding towards these circumstances, because the human species are compassionate and care about what happened, regardless the proximity. It could be some faraway place that we never have an opportunity to visit, or never have a reason to. Regardless, we were confronted with yet again another trauma bonding conflict situation. But what we can do in such a situation, when we know the information spiritual warfare is a real thing, it's affect each and every single into each and every one of us, and our level of uh, awareness and clarity regarding these very vital part of our social structure, our the whole existence, the based with these trauma bonding circumstances. So what we can really do as an individual is really recognize what exactly this trauma bonding is all about, and what can we learn. And with the information spiritual warfare, great awakening is on the topic too, but most people really doesn't seem to get this idea, great awakening. Everyone on the surface perhaps thinking we are wide awake. There's nothing to wake up to or wake up from. So therefore, the life as usual, and doing the usual activities, because this is why we really need to prioritize, have a little clarity regarding these trauma bonding. It's really clear, each and every day we are confronted with these social circumstances, and when we're having dialogue with anyone, we have really come to conclusions. People are really not believing, or is making mockery out of when we try to navigate these complicated spiritual information warfare, because we are really waiting for some kind of demonic, scary looking creatures to be confronted with us in daily basis. This is not the case at all. This is why we need to think about this great awakening and information warfare, how it's really affecting us, and how we can really overcome our ancestral line, our bloodline, our individual family circumstances, and really have a deep dive into these kind of hidden, not obvious, hidden, manipulated, and sabotaged, and gaslit for many centuries. So this is why we are really struggling as a human species, really confused, and really, when anyone who have a little bit of awareness, we become the crazy ones and enemy. This doesn't have to be, because once again, the Great Awakening is all about recognizing and having the ability to identify hazardous energy loop energetic draining loopholes. This is why we are desperately trying to have these dialogue in different manner, because in the spiritual community, one speak up about topic, another one finishes it, another one have a different perspective, but it's a similar information, and we are going around circles and trying to deliver these messages so we can have an easier time trying to navigate. Now let's see what happens. Regarding trauma bonding, why we are so attracted to trauma bonding, why is it a comfortable position for us to be throughout our life. It's like the elliptical, I say, the elliptical machine. You climb upstairs and then climb down. It's much harder to climb up than downward elliptical. And our existence is the same thing when we are confronted with dark and light. I never put them into a category of two sides. I always have the spiritual measurement stick. Is from bottom up, and it's a one stick and one layer, but we need to know where everyone is fitting into these categories. When we navigate something like this in from a different perspective, perhaps this is where something going to have a breakthrough. Wishful thinking, but never we are going to stop trying. So in the spectrum of the emotional spiritual stick, and everyone is in belong to the different layers of frequencies. You have the really the bottom and extreme level of toxicity, and the middle you're just moving into the emotional layers of opening up in continuation with the low vibrational parts of our frequency or toxic level. When we have a clarity regarding this and other layers, we will move forward towards another layer of existence, and we have an easier time navigating in this spectrum, because it's all about vibrational frequencies and how we put them in noticed or recognize the problematic areas, and how we're going to shift into a different level of frequency or elevation. And every time you open up a different layer, we have a much easier time opening up the layers of onion, to sort of a neutral, joyous love and enlightened state is probably the goal. It is the goal. And the when you're exposed to level of light and clarity, there is no way forward there, because you are into the greatest spectrum of light body existence. So this is how I navigate. And when you hear about trauma bonding, and we have much easier time with the trauma bonding, we have to know why are we so comfortable trauma bonding, because in this case you have shut down rigid manner, and you are not willing to open these kind of layers of perhaps traumatic, toxic, uncomfortable layers of existence, or layers that we gone through. And healing, we don't know anything about healing. We don't know anything about depth. We are just barely existing. We can only do this for so long until something really confronts you, have an emotional, the mental breakdown, physical breakdown, depression, and a loss of some sort, because something large, something major has to come into the surface to break these patterns open. So it's an open wound. Excuse me. So this is why it's really important for us to navigate these purpose of trauma bonding. Why is it a normal setup in our social structure? Who is really benefiting? We have a very clear evidence now. Enduring extreme level of trauma, discomfort, is really never leading us anywhere. The perfect example we could see is is everywhere in the social media, and you can see the testimonial from real people. They're looking for some kind of relief, healing, the extreme level of physical illnesses, discomfort, trauma body. They are really struggling and they are looking for some kind of relief. We see this often. I don't really particularly read books, but I am fascinated about getting to know what people are really going through, and I was really uh, invested in really reading up a lot of testimonial from people, and it's everywhere online. We can actually confronted that with the control grid. They are really invested on scanning your eyeballs and the hackable animals and useless eaters. This is the observation. This is the manifesto that they are put towards the human population. So therefore we need to eliminate. But if you're really invested so deeply about getting to know people, now we have a really clear evidence that putting people through extreme level of traumatic experiences really doesn't benefit the human species. Maybe it's benefiting the low vibrational demonic parasites, because they are relying on these low vibe trauma bonding for their survival. But it doesn't really do anything for the people. So one thing we really have to come to terms with, indefinitely without purpose, when we are trauma bonding, meaning we're really not in control of our own energy. We are not recognizing where is the extreme level of drainage happen, and our attention goes towards these trauma bonding, and we really don't have any clarity regarding how it's going to impact us. Is it going to elevate us? Is it going to leave us even more desperate and in an extreme level of pain body, because we haven't paid attention? So like I said before, we are hoping for some kind of strange looking demonic agents who are going to be confronted in the street, and this is why it's really hysterically funny for people to comprehend when we speak about these different level of energetic frequencies, layers, and they're like, oh yeah, there is nobody out there who will do that. It's silly and we are the crazy one. No, it's hidden. This is why it's called a spiritual warfare. This is why we call it, we need to have a great awakening, because these parasitic entities show up in our everyday circumstances, because we aren't aware about the spiritual stick, the measurement. We don't know where everybody is fitting in. We don't know how to put these energetic frequencies in a category for the purpose of protecting your existence. And therefore we are becoming more confused and desperate than ever before, because this is a spiritual warfare, right? This is what the key word is. And once you recognize, for example, when it comes to mainstream, the follow the science uh, group, we just I'm not sure. Very early on, I've experienced these things from maybe a newspaper article, like the mad scientist, when I didn't have a clue about anything regarding science. The one interpretation that I came to know was the mad scientist with this crazy, like uh, clown like a character, and as a mad scientist. So just as well, because so then it was we never get past after that. Our whole system seemed to be like that. Now always remember, not everything is so bad and designed to destroy you. But if you want careful, if you aren't aware, you get consuming without even knowing that you have lost so much energy. You're feeding into a machine, feeding into a system, a control grid towards the spiritual warfare. The master manipulators are the one who is holding all the cards, and we are willing participant for the most part, because they show up as a economic, they show up as a healthcare, they show up as a financial, they show up as a religion, or the different spectrum of these institutions. And just because we are facing spiritual warfare, we are not really aware about the depth, aware about how we get consumed and get fished into these situations. This is why it's the school of life is really a never so black and white, because it's always led by the master manipulators by design. So even if you're even if you're really use the entertainment for a little bit of fun, a little bit of entertainment. There are messages, there are systems in place, there are characters who play all sorts of desperate trauma bonding circumstances in a script. So without even ever having the opportunity to know the difference, we get consumed. We think this is the normal, this is pretty normal, this is what's happening with our entertainment, so therefore it is a normal part of our existence. Because we are reluctant to ask the questions why and how and the purpose and what is the end game, we never do that. We just follow we're just following the script, and this is how we fall into these kind of entrapment. So even entertainment, it's a good thing for people, but you have to be conscious. Hey, it's good to have a giggle and laugh and be entertained, but if you're paying attention, they are shaping a much dumbed down version of humanity altogether. So this is why we have to keep eye on the trauma bonding. Is something so much easier. It's an entrapment. You fall into these rabbit holes, this trauma bonding. There's nothing much you can do, but yet we rely on indefinite trauma bonding, your attention, because you get scared. Now I know, because we speak to people from different parts of the world, they'll be like, oh wow, I was watching this, it's really scary, it's so sad, it's difficult to comprehend, this is happening. And these people go, they're so unsuspecting, they are not being aware about the entertainment, is not aware about the master manipulating information warfare. Try say that to one of those individuals, hey, it's an information spiritual warfare, I don't know why you need to put your attention there. It doesn't really seem appropriate, or it doesn't make sense. And this is really unsuspecting human species doesn't want to believe the worst case scenario. They don't want to believe that someone or these agents, the control grid, is sabotaging deliberately. Nobody wants to believe that. But in comparison with the different scenarios, we fall into these things where in relationships we have family problems, issues that people face throughout their life, and it's always done by the people that is closest to you, people who disappoint you. They are usually your families. And when we read this testimonial from the unsuspecting, sweetest human beings, they are, wow, I feel so much anxiety. I have been abused. My parents, they never allow me properly. They never nurture me. My siblings were treated much better. Therefore, I am struggling. I have an enormous level of anxiety. I have problems in my back, or problems in my gut issue in that region. Some people have heart problems, all kinds of things, and they are aware, they are putting things together, spending lifetime looking for a way to relieve these extreme level of trauma body, and they're looking to comfort each other in these websites, any kind of healing, tarot card even. People are really relying on external tools to figure out some kind of a relief. And it is really heartwarming thing to experience. And these are not they are just a global audience, right? They're from all over the place. Some people will say, hey, I am so sorry about my language of writing, and I hope I'm making things clear. But no one there say, hey, oh wow, you made a spelling mistakes, your grammar's horrible. No one ever said that. They are comforting each other. They're like, oh, hey, don't worry. We really know what you're trying to express. I have been going through similar thing like this. This is the amazing part of our humanity, and that touches your heart so deeply, because people are so unsuspecting. Now, when we come to these external parasitic system, if you speak about the tree of life, we know that different kind of critters are there in the ground. There are different ones, and the bugs and the worms and all kinds of different energetic frequencies, or the species, and they all have a purpose. So I really don't have animosity towards these parasitic, demonic, vibrational frequencies, and the ones who are representing these different spectrum of energetic grid. I never really hold that against them. I just want to have a clarity, because one thing I felt all my life is enormous level of love and connection, and something like, hey, all is well, everything is going to be okay kind of energy. Unknown is being staying close to the source. Regardless, you always felt this really a strong pull towards the maintaining your boundaries. So in when you're a child, now instead trauma bonding, what we come to realize now, all of these in my childhood, I had a very regimented, like the adults, the guardians. My father was always there when I need him. Show up in my youth, really young, up to 10, 12, 13 years maybe. Uh, Mother was abroad, so didn't even know she existed for a long time. But my father makes sure that he will always show up when I need him. And all these guardians, so-called aunties from the mother side or the father side, where are these people? And very regimented, very hardcore discipline, the isolation, silent treatment, extreme judgment. Like I've said before many times, these things really happen towards this girl child, because internally I've always had extreme level of boundaries and haven't expressed them, don't know what it is, don't doesn't really know how to express anything, but it will come across as the stubborn, like a mule, so obnoxious little girl, stubborn and not easy to deal with. This is the interpretation, but I know within me that I'm not a pushover. I know what I feel about myself. I know what is right. I know what is wrong. I have a bit of moral high ground, maybe. Morality is there. The how to have a purpose and why and questions, and we have to have a reason for that. But their level of toxicity really, the one is really come to surface, right? The anger, resentment, jealousy, can't stand it. But we know this a karmic situation, right? People do have karma as such, but we don't want to make excuses for the perpetual trauma bonding just because it's a karmic journey. That is a really easy way out, and not allowing people to be responsible for what they're doing. So it's okay for one side, but then why would you create karma for yourself? You can easily say, oh yeah, that person, that individual, that situation is very karmic, but then it's okay for them, but then we don't have any discussion about, hey, this is going to have a karmic effect on me, so I cannot really do as I wish. I cannot be hurtful towards others and destroy everything uh, uh, for another person, animal kingdom, and the environment. There must be some kind of energetic consequences, so we need to keep that in mind. So I have a very clear idea about karmic lessons, because it's like so loving. It needs to be done. There are some lessons there are much harder, but they have to be resolved. So therefore, the creator makes sure that level of karmic lessons are met with extreme level of gentleness, with the harshness, but there's a gentleness, there's a love, and there is comforting that happen from these connection to the source, your higher self, because we kind of have to get these lessons down and release from these karmic obligations. So this is a pretty normal, but we can make excuses for indefinite trauma bonding because it's karmic. So this is why we stop at when we had to learn about boundaries, healthy boundaries, learning about our energetic drainage, the loopholes. We have to have awareness regarding these emotional layers of frequencies, and uh, how to get a jump start and get a handle from these things. This is why uh, we are not blaming everything on karma, but we are recognizing about the trauma bonding, and we are not going to participate on indefinite trauma bonding, because now we know exactly how the system work. We have a clarity. A quick example, on the social media, you see these toxic femininities, toxic trauma bodies, unhealed trauma bodies. They're like, oh yeah, we're talking about women empowerment, but do something like my page. I really love the isolation and a coldness I'm getting from this control grid or the algorithm, because you don't like art, you don't like color, you don't like food, you don't even like a baby bird, you don't like nature walks, you don't like speaking about something authentic coming from within, because we kind of done the time, and you know what people are like. We know how to get a handle of our emotional spiritual trauma bodies and trauma bonding. So we express these ideas. We are definitely not open for that, and everybody else is like, you see them liking these high priestesses, the entertainment industry. Oh yeah, we jump up and down, we love and we like and we follow. It's a very clear example as to where we are at. We don't want to be seen even associated with something that is colorful, something that's different, something that's authentic. It's really show you where we are at. And the same thing with your families. We have done some work, and we are all about releasing the ancestral trauma body and fixing up our life and healing and releasing indefinitely. But all these people who are regimented BS, and they never nurture